Another giving opportunity, brought to you by Givealittle, where good things keep happening. Brent, how did you get involved with the Coastguard?
A friend of mine who's a diver said, look, go along to Coastguard, I'm a crew member, and I said to him, oh, sounds good, but I've got no skills. He said, oh, look, don't worry, you learn a lot of things and have a lot of fun, get out on boats, which is what I like doing, so went along and I've been carrying on ever since. Yeah, just really enjoy it.
What does the Coastguard do?
The Coastguard do a lot of things. On a normal weekend day, we are sort of there from 9 till 6, 9 till 7, and help out with anybody that's in trouble. Most of the time, it's really just a boatie that's broken down. It's maybe their first trip out in the summer and the fuel's dirty or the battery's not very charged, and they're out there and they've done their fishing and try and crank their motor up in the afternoon and realise they're not going to have any chance of getting home without calling up somebody.
What are some other examples of the Coastguard's work?
We've had a few instances of boats or yachts getting into trouble out in Cook Strait. We've got a call-out crew as well who will head out after the normal weekend hours. And on one occasion we went out there as a yacht that had come in heading back from Napier, and they'd been out in the seas, big seas, for a long time. They're very tired and probably a little bit inexperienced, and we headed out. Yeah, the sea was big, we had to try and get a line to them to tow. Yeah, they were very happy when we finally made it, and you could tell they were pretty stressed out about the whole thing, but we ended up towing them in through the heads, which was exciting because of course the waves get a lot bigger as you come into the harbour. But yeah, that was one of the more exciting ones.
What are the reactions you get from the people you rescue?
Yes, most of the people we rescue are obviously pretty happy because it's probably a big call to phone up the emergency services in the first place. So generally they're in a bit of trouble when they do call, and when they see that sort of orangey red boat heading down towards them, they're pretty relieved. We normally get hold of them on the VHF radio to say we're coming, and we can hear the relief in their voice at times, and often you hear a lot of stress in their voice before we're there, and asking how long you're going to be, etc. So most of them are pretty happy.
How is the Coastguard funded?
Yes, Coastguard funding is totally by donation. So at times, we've been restricted because of lack of money to pay for fuel down to Evans Bay. So we've been stuck within a 1 mile radius, not being able to do much at all, which is hard to train on those on that sort of budget when you're only there once a month.
Is fundraising an issue for you?
Yes, with fundraising, as we're not funded by the government, we've got to try and find the money ourselves. So we do have the sausage sizzles on the open days. We've had a car rally just recently. We do help out and get a donation from the Inter-Island Line with evacuation practices and open days there. We've run a couple of car parks just in the last few months down at one of the markets on the weekends. So we do try pretty hard to get that little bit extra, but it's not an easy thing.